So over the last couple of years in non-league football, there has been some drastic changes to the number of teams in each league, the number of leagues that actually exist at each level in the non-league pyramid, the number of promotion spots, the number of relegation spots. There's been new playoff structures brought in, moving from 4 teams up to 6 teams, bringing in super playoffs, promoting playoff winners due to the number of points that they've got per game. It's becoming so confusing, and to make it even more confusing, ahead of the next season, the 1920 season, there have been some extra changes brought into place, and this is only the start of it, because there's going to be even more drastic ones brought in the 2020-21 season as well. So it's just creating a massive headache, but I'm going to try and explain it as best as I can while the changes that are happening ahead of the 1920 season. So that's going to keep you up to date with all the new league structures from step 1 to step 4, which is tier 5 to tier 8 of the English football pyramid. We're going to be looking into all of it and trying to make it as clear as possible in this video. But before we start, this video is sponsored by OneFootball, which is a great app for staying up to date with all the different news from loads of different leagues. Some of these league structures will be present in the OneFootball app. So when you're finding out the latest scores or the latest updates, this could help things make a little more sense. Or at least in the higher levels of non-league and also in the Football League and Premier League as well as abroad, the OneFootball app in particular is very good to use for all different sorts of things football related. So if you want to download the app, the link will be in the top line of the description. But without any further ado, let's get into this crazy explanation of what's actually happening.
First of all, just a general overview. In step 1 of the non-league pyramids, that's tier 5 of the English Football League pyramid, there are no changes. It's below that where it all starts to be a bit chaotic. Step 2, there are fewer relegation places next season, and that's what that's changed. There's no extra leagues added or removed, as there have been in previous and future years in some of the steps of non-league. In step 3, there are extra promotion and relegation places across the leagues and no leagues added or removed. And in step 4, there are extra promotion places and changes to how the relegation actually works, but there are no leagues added or removed. It's going to be these leagues that we'll be looking at today in this video. So step 2 consists of the National League North and National League South. During the 18-19 season, there was 1 promotion spot automatic, 6 playoff places and 3 relegation places in 22 team leagues. Now the number of teams in the leagues is staying the same, the promotion and playoff structure is staying exactly the same as well, but instead of 3 teams relegated, it is now down to 2 in both the National League North and National League South. This means that a total of 4 teams are now being relegated from step 2 compared to 6 previously. What it means is that in step 3, there is now the super playoffs removed. So last season, the 4 league title winners all got promoted, but then only 2 playoff winners got promoted. So in total, only 6 teams got promoted from step 3 last season, and that was because an extra league was added at this tier. But now you might be thinking, hang on a second, they've increased the number of promotion spots in total from 6 to 8 across the 7th tier, but the number of relegation places from the step 2, which is the National League North and National League South, in total has decreased from 6 to 4. So that means that there's going to be 4 teams spare, but the explanation for this is because from the 2021 season to the season after next, there is going to be 24 teams in each of the National League North and National League South. If they kept it at 6 teams coming down rather than 4, they'd have to keep the super playoff structure, which, to be honest, it's not ideal for anyone. Now if you look down to the bottom of the table, last season, there were 3 teams relegated from each of the leagues in step 3, but that has now changed to 2 relegation places per league with 1 possible relegation place per league. Now, this possible relegation place is decided upon based on points per game, and it's across the 4 leagues. So, out of these 4 leagues, only 2 teams are going to get relegated, and the 2 that we relegated, the 2 that have the lowest points per game ratio. Just to map this out, for example, looking at the 20th place teams, in theory, for the 4 leagues in step 3, if one's got 40 points, one's got 31 points, one's got 43 points, one's got 38 points, you can see the points per game ratio below, and the lowest 2 are the Bostik Premier 1 with 0.76 and the Southern Premier 1 with 0.90. So those 2 teams were relegated, but the other 2, because they got higher points per game ratio, they will survive. So now looking to step 4, which is tier 8, and there are 7 leagues at this level. All 7 champions are getting promoted, and all 7 playoff winners are being promoted as well. So that's 14 promotion spots. So that's nice and simple. That's a change from last season, because it was an absolute carnage at the top of the table. Basically, even if you win a playoff final, you might still not go up because of points per game. They were basing playoff final winners off whether they've got a higher points per game than teams in other leagues. It was absolute carnage. Literally, if you won your playoff final, you still weren't going to like a super playoff or anything. You literally just had to rely on other teams having a lower points per game ratio than you. But anyway, back to what's happening for the 1920 season. There are 0 definite relegation spots. So there are 7 teams that could potentially go off and face into a relegation playoff. So that is 1 team from each league. And how this relegation playoff works is a bit of a headache. So before we start, the aim of this whole relegation playoff thing is because they want fewer teams getting relegated, because they want to add a new league at step 4 for the 2021 season. That's the season after next. And to do this, they need to have more teams promoted from the league below and less teams getting relegated. So this could actually mean that 0 teams get relegated from step 4. To explain the promotion from step 5, there are 14 leagues, of which 20 teams need to be promoted because they want to create a new league where all of the 8 leagues at step 4 have 20 teams. So of the 14 leagues, all 14 champions are promoted. The second and third place team from the Northwest Counties and Northern Counties East League will also be promoted. I'm not sure why they've chosen those 3 leagues to get an automatic promotion spot for second and third place teams, whereas other leagues do not have this at this same step, but that's just a fact of what's happening. So this is where it gets really confusing. The highest 4 teams out of the remaining 11 teams finishing in second place, the 4 with the highest points per game ratios will be promoted. The remaining 7 second place teams will face the relegation playoff matches against the 7 bottom place teams in each of the leagues at step 4. The games will be held at the ground of the team in step 4, and whoever wins that game will be in step 4 for the following season.
So you have it, that is it for this video. What do you think of these new league structures in non-league football? Let me know in the comment section down below. Do you think it's actually going to benefit the game overall? And whether some of these changes that you weren't aware of or you didn't expect to happen, let me know in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this video, remember to click that like button and also subscribe as well to stay up to date with the latest non-league content throughout the summer and heading into the 1920 season. So yeah, I hope you see you in the next video, and thanks for watching.